Welcome, everybody. Thanks, DJ Noob, for laying down the spacey tracks on wax, I guess. It sounded pretty good. Welcome to our AMA. This is the 7th of May, 2022. My name is ABFTFTW. I'll be hosting this AMA to give Pineapple a well-deserved break. For those that you don't know how this works, we receive questions in advance from the community that are sorted by the highest voted. Today, we have two core team members joining us, Peter, our marketing lead, and Hank, our technical lead. We received a lot of questions this go around, so let's jump right into it, guys. Highest voted question we received for this AMA was about our UI, and it's from Hedera Evangelist. Can we have a definite date or week when we can expect to preview the UI of the decks?
Yeah, so funny you ask. If you guys take a look at the announcements channel, you'll see that I just posted a link to the first of a series of decks tutorial videos, which not only showcases our current UI, but walks through the process of some key features of our protocol. Please keep in mind that the design is a work in progress and will evolve as we approach our public launch. This first video focuses on the creation of liquidity pools and the provision of liquidity to existing pools. And a big shout out goes to Warlock and Key for hosting this video series.
All right. Next question comes from Hedera Evangelist. What will the ratio of LP tokens, especially the HBAR to sauce ratio, be? And when can we contribute to liquidity pools? And what will be the new minted token provided to us in our wallet? Saucer?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm understanding the question entirely correctly, but to clarify, when you provide liquidity, it has to be equal value of token A and token B. Once you provide that liquidity, you'll get back the LP tokens that you can stake or redeem. Just remember that impermanent loss is a thing, and you can get a refresher on the concept from our docs.
Yeah, and just a note there, the token you receive right now is called SSLP. It's distinct from Saucer. Saucer is relevant in the context of single-sided staking.
All right. Next question comes to us from Kazuik, I guess. Can a functionality be added to buy in to a sauce HBAR LP liquidity pool with only sauce while the DEX calculates and converts the portion needed for HBAR?
Sure, we'll look into it. The dev team would like for the user experience to be as smooth as humanly possible, and inundating you guys with this finicky math is just silly. So we'll be looking to getting that feature set up in the future.
All right. Thank you so much, Hank. Next question comes from Af. Does SaucerSwap intend to be a one-stop shop for Hedera DeFi, on-ramp, staking, swapping, wallet connection, all in one software?
Yeah, that's I want to say it's a yes and no. We'll have swaps, farms, and liquidity pools, but we don't really have any plans to be a fiat on-ramp and off-ramp, as it would just bog the project down with regulatory burdens. There are third parties that already do this, and it saves us a lot of headache. Our job is to integrate their solutions into SaucerSwap for a smoother user experience, but that's not the main priority at the moment. Depending on how things go, you might see SaucerSwap in a certain wallet, but that's in the very far future.
All right. Have you chosen which firm will be performing the audit yet? Has the first audit started? If not, how soon away is it? And will the report be published on the SaucerSwap website?
Yeah, so we have started this process, which has been indicated in our social media. But for the time being, we have to remain tight-lipped. Rest assured that when we can reveal information, we'll do it as soon as possible. Additionally, to answer the second part of the question, yes, the report will be published on our website as well as our social media platforms.
Awesome. Sounds good. Next question is from Hedera Evangelist. Our socials community is not growing anymore. What measures can be taken to grow the awareness and members organically? Maybe collabs with YouTubers and influencers?
Yeah, so we've noticed an expected lull in new membership in our analytics, and we're not concerned about it. Given that the sale has ended, and we've been keeping our heads down and just grinding to bring the product to market, it's understandable that growth metrics are not as explosive as they were before. And there's a lot going on behind the scenes. So that being said, there will be reveals and announcements over the next few weeks. So you can expect that our marketing will ramp up accordingly.
Okay. Another question from Hedera Evangelist. Are there any future collabs with Hedera NFT artists to mint new NFTs? Example given, the alien NFT avatars. I hope we are done with the cows now and new avatars can be introduced.
Yeah, so we still have the full intention to follow through the NFT profile pictures, which will be created by a roster of artists in the community. We have this list of the artists who we have spoken to, and we're going to pursue this endeavor concurrently with other features after our initial launch.
Killer stuff. All right. Another question from AF. Do you believe that the first viable product to market is critically important? Understand network effects are monopolistic and self-reinforcing.
Okay, so yeah, we addressed this question during the last AMA. I encourage you to check out that answer for a more detailed response. But the long and the short of it is that we would like to be the first to market, but what's more important is being the first to do it right. So if a DEX launches that's audited by a firm you haven't heard of before, that's a bit dubious. SaucerSwap is going to launch with an audit performed by a top firm. So the bottom line is that we feel confident about our rollout strategy.
I like it. All right. Another question from Hedera Evangelist. Just like in other crypto ecosystems, do you plan to reward active community members or the best questions with some sauce? This would lead, in his opinion, to greater engagement from all.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I think we'll see about implementing this for our next AMA.
Nice. All right, this question comes from HB. What are the team members' ideal future society? We talking Star Trek, Jetsons, Star Wars, Solar Punk, or have you gone off the doomer end, nuclear winter, Skynet, etc.?
I'll take a stab at it. My ideal society is really one where everyone has financial freedom and has the opportunity to pursue growth, experiment, and drive in their own unique ways. It's very sappy, I admit, but after watching a generation or two of Americans shackled by debt and grinding as another cog in the system, it just really doesn't sit right with me. I feel like that sentiment rings true for many in the crypto world, so yeah.
Yeah. Myself, I'm a fan of the solar punk aesthetic. I think, generally it's important to be optimistic about the future, and the world of solar punk as it's been depicted is one that I'd be pretty happy to find myself in.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That could go off the deep end, in my opinion. And fortunately, I'm going to be unoriginal here. And Hank kind of read my mind. I think every day about how I would just like to be financially free so I could pursue my interests, which are vast. I mean, I'm constantly getting into something new, learning a new trade. And I feel like work just really gets in the way of my creativity. And I would like to be able to do what I want when I want. And I'm not asking a whole lot for that, just enough to, pursue my studies. But anyway, moving along. Another question coming in. This is from Hedera Evangelist. When will the marketplace for the Planck Epoch Martian merch launch? Are the merch designs being worked out already? Is it scheduled sometime later? Can't wait. Super smiley face.
Yeah. Well, okay. So the designs are done. We're currently getting samples of everything to make sure it's top quality. And if everything passes the sniff test, we'll launch the store shortly thereafter. And all NFT holders can look forward to some exclusive items, which, we think are going to be quite popular.
Very cool. Can the team give us an example of what a community proposal might be and explain voting rights?
Yeah, I think it's a good time to bring up Galaxy, which has really been at the forefront when it comes to DAOs on Hedera. You may want to look into their Creator Galaxy Improvement Proposal 4 for more details on that. And chances are we're going to be adopting their work with some tweaks on how votes are weighted. Community members can bring up ideas of a new feature, and if it gains enough traction, the dev team can put it on their docket.
All right. Next question coming in from Exatorian. The initial HBAR Sauce LP pre-ICO initial crypto offering Will there be a lock period, or will we have the option to enter and exit as we please?
Okay, so I want to clear this up. There's not going to be an ICO. There never was going to be an ICO. After the electromagnetic liquidity option occurs, where users who hold an electromagnetic NFT can provide liquidity to initial pools but not swap, the IDO whitelist event will occur, where users who hold any of the NFTs will be able to swap in the initial pools. In this, there's not going to be any lockup periods. Users can swap at their discretion. The only core feature that currently has a lockup period is the game theory incentivized staking, which can be found in our docs. And this is a totally optional feature of our farms, and it won't be available at the initial launch.
I see. All right. What will the swap fees be denominated in, SauCe or HBAR?
Yeah, there is actually a bit of nuance to it, and that really depends on the token pair. If you're swapping out SauCe for HBAR, the fees will actually be paid out in SauCe. If it's HBAR for SauCe, then the fees will be paid out in the HBAR. Basically, when you swap token A for token B, the fees are always paid in token A. The gas fees, however, are distinct from the swap fees and will always be paid in HBAR.
Not confusing at all. Awesome. All right. Next question comes from a person spelling the word 9 very cleverly with a 9 mashed in there. Do you have an idea of how many days we will have until the faucet runs out approximately? Can we keep the faucet running until launch?
I would give it like 2 or 3 days to drain the remaining 1.5 billion. I should mention that the faucet has processed over 125,000 transactions using less than 500 HBARs, which is pretty much insane in my mind. Anyway, we're going to be looking into putting spare sauce from other sources into a faucet to extend its life. No promises though, as the team has yet to reach a consensus on it, but we're looking into it.
Can't get mad about those gas prices on HBAR. All right, that's what dragged a lot of us into this. So that takes us through all of our questions for this AMA. Curious that no one asked about the snapshot. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, so the snapshot has been taken. We appreciate that you guys understood that we couldn't announce the exact date and time prior to the snapshot, as it would have introduced some potential for vulnerabilities. But now we can affirm that the snapshot followed the schedule and was taken a couple days after the announcement. As for the exact date and time, once Joe comes back, he'll be able to provide that, as he's the one who ran the script. For those of you who don't understand what the snapshot is all about, it's a record in time of who holds the Plonky Buck NFTs. So as we cautioned against, any sales or transfers that occurred after the snapshot was taken will not count towards airdrops.
Awesome. All right, guys. I think that was a pretty good one. Some good questions got answered. That will conclude this particular Ask Me Anything. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.